of a land bank or the registry. Yeah, you don't want to use the word bank, but a registry. I'm sure Dr. Haq will look into this issue. Now I'll call on Vinay Ohdar for land leasing for enhanced agriculture efficiency in Bihar. So we are sharing actually experiences from different states, which is good.
Respected Chair and dignitaries, my presentation I wanted to try to elicit some of the issues and challenges of tenancy in Bihar and also to assess some policy environment in favor of model law, land leasing law in India. So, in Bihar, if you see, this is one of the pioneer state, Bihar, who brought very progressive land laws, but the implementation is the biggest concern in Bihar. Even despite it tried to bring a law on evolution of intermediaries and a fixation of ceiling and acquisition of surplus land, but despite that was aiming to allocate land to the poor people, but that failed to allocate land to the poor and to the land to tillers. As a result, a large number of land and a large number of families who are living in agriculture are practicing sharecropping.
Main points boliye.
Yes, just come to the point. So, and since in Bihar, tenancy is and sharecropping. I'm using 4 words on this: on sharecropping, land leasing, tenancy, and badadari, and interchangeably all have same meaning for a practical purpose here. And in Bihar, bataidari or the sharecropping or tenancy is very sensitive issue. And it has witnessed in 70s and 80s, it has witnessed until the last 90s, several massacres has happened and several agrarian unrest has happened in Bihar due to sharecropping and peasantry, marginal farmers, landless, they joined the ultra-leftist group. Big farmers, they created their own army and the huge protest against each other and lots of massacre happened. So that made it very sensitive. And in Bihar, agriculture tenancy is prohibited by law, except some categories like Dr. Haq mentioned. Some of them are allowed for the land leasing, but it is by the law it is banned. And one attempt was made in 2006 and 7 to bring some laws, some policy for regularization of the regulating the land leasing, but it has very disastrous, and it resulted very counterproductive. Many landlords they protested this policy, and as a result, most of the land they were given to the landless people as sharecropper. They were taken back. That had very bad effect in the state. And since past 1 year, we have been trying to initiate some discourse among various stakeholders, because for past so many years, no discussion was made on this issue. Even neither the policymakers nor any community, neither landlords, no were trying to discuss, neither media also, they never discussed this issue. So past 1 year, we have been trying to discuss with the various stakeholders, with the landlords, with the sharecroppers, with the PRI members, the government officials. And we also conducted a study in Bihar. So that is a combination of so many methods. One macro study was conducted. Macro that includes 5 districts, and 900 samples were taken. And we had a macro analysis of 3 villages. In 3 districts, we have several zonal consultations, district consultations, and focused discussion also. Some case studies also collected. If you see the scale of the land leasing, because various studies say various scale of land leasing in Bihar, settlement of 1950 to 1960, that was roughly estimated around 35% of land under leasing. One report was prepared by ADRI for the Land Resource Commission in Bihar. So they estimated around 15 to 20% families are go for land leasing. And our macro study that estimates 21% of the family they go for land leasing. And macro study it measures 15 to 40%. And some other CSOs they have several studies, small studies. They estimate that is around 40 to 50%. but around 24% families who have land, they lease out land. When you see who are the families are under leasing, so contrary to the popular notion that mostly poor people are involved, mostly landlords, mostly upper caste landlords are involved in leasing out and leasing, poor are in leasing in, only Dalits are in leasing in, but in contrary say, it varies across all the communities. For past, I think, 1 decade, that has tremendously changed. It's not only that only landlords are leasing out land. There are so many backward communities who have gained so much land during past 2 decades. They are also into land leasing out and leasing in. If you see the caste structure in leasing in, 30% are scheduled caste and tribes, 51% are BC1 and BC2, 70% are upper caste, and if you see the 71% those who are in line leasing, they are for the food security. They are only for the food security, and 68% of them belong to SC and EBC community, and 28% of those who are leasing land, they are aiming to make their land size bigger and also for the cash crop. And interestingly, none of the SC group go for cash crop. They, most of them, all of them, you can say, they go for the food security. If you see the leasing out, 27% of the big farmers, they lease out the land and rest of them they cultivate themselves. 20% the small holders also lease out the land, and 26% were the from the upper caste. 14% of the SC ST, they are also into the leasing in and leasing out.
Because they have only 2 minutes more.
Yeah, it's coming. And 56 of the backward communities, they are also in the leasing out. And most of them are under the BC2 category, and they have gained land during the past 2 decades. I have just quickly run through it. So there are some clear picture of this is very complex. It's not that the only poor are leasing out, landlords are leasing in, and upper caste and big landlords are leasing out. You can say there are several relations have emerged during past 2 decades. And if you see the tenure, which is a big issue, 4% in cases, we see there is no fixed tenure. It's less than 1 year. That is the bigger issue, and that is terminable at will. And 71% between 1 to 2 years. Only 8% of the tenures are for more than 2 years. And see, rental, which is said in Bihar, is very, very exploitative, is 75% under the share produce. And there's lots of variance. That share is between 50% to 2/3. And 14% is the fixed produce, and 6% is on the fixed money basis.
So the major conclusion, findings.
Yeah, findings come lastly. Then major findings from the consultations and focus group discussion we have, that owners have their own concern, and sharecropper they have own concerns. That is interesting that they say they cannot go for longer tenure as they may lose land to the tiller. They are not happy in sharecropping because tenants use excessive chemical fertilizer and spoil the land. Tenants do not put any effort for the land development. Tenants steal the produce and they give less share. They want to share subsidies or any compensation given from the government, but they want that government should develop some mechanism for this. Also, they are not happy with changing tenants every year, but they can't take any risk for that. Production is also very low in the land under sharecropping. Absentee landlords prefer to grow orchard, timber if threat of losing land persists. If any process of recognition of sharecropper is done at the panchayat level, will be welcome. But they don't want any intervention from the revenue department. They think that if anything comes at the panchayat level, landlords will accept that. And so, but tenants' concern is they're not happy at all with the tenure. They want long-term tenures for better productivity. In most of the cases, landlords do not share any input cost. Even straw is shared between the landlords and the sharecroppers. They don't want to invest on land development due to insecure tenures. They don't want, they're not getting any entitlement or benefit from the government. They find the present relationship is very exploitative and do not gain much except that some gain comes in the family. Irrigation and plowing has become very, very costly and landlords should do a share of the input. Major issue is credit. They don't get any credit from the formal institutions. Sometimes they are also treated like bondage. We have seen that those who have settled the landlord's land, their terms and conditions are different than the others. The tenants should be registered for recognition. And some recommendations which came from the group discussions, this is not ours, but the landlords and the sharecropper, they brought it together. They developed some mechanisms so that tenants get due entitlements. Registration of the sharecroppers should be done at the panchayat level. Uniformity in the rental should be brought based on the land type. Panchayat should be given power to regulate tenancy relations and land leasing. That's it.
Thank you. That was a nice